There we go. Where's my camera? Hey, I've moved some things around so everything looks different to me. We are live, guys. Thanks for stopping in. I'm going to try to keep my intro brief tonight because we're going to need quite a bit of time and I want to condense this down to 1 hour. But tonight, we are going to be editing video for the first time on stream. We've been doing photos for the last few episodes, and tonight we're going to be editing video. And we're going to be using Premiere Pro. We might even use a little bit of the Adobe After Effects as well. But if you shoot video, whether it's with your cell phone or with a GoPro or with a camera like I use, video was shot with the Sony A7 III, then it doesn't matter. You want to edit those videos, and we're going to go over a few things. And hopefully, you guys can pick up a few things. This is not an instructional video. It's not an instructional stream. It is a brainstorming stream where you guys can share your input. This is a learning process for me too, so hopefully we can learn from each other. But I did go ahead and go through some of the busy work so that we wouldn't have to take up way too much time, take up too much time sorting through videos. So what I have down here, guys, in the bottom left, if you're not familiar with Adobe Premiere Pro, down here we have our project info, and you can see I have already selected my videos and I've named them. So basically all I did was just go through all the clips that I've shot and threw out the ones I didn't want, kept the ones I did. And then actually up here in my assembly module, if I just click on like this dive one clip, if I double click that, I can go ahead and hit play here, and I can select exactly where I want the clip to start and finish before dragging it onto my timeline over here. So in this case, I've already done it, but if you scrub forward here and hit play, I just hit the I key for in, and then back here I hit the O key for out. So I did this to every single one of these clips. You can see some of them are longer, some of them are shorter, but I went ahead and already did that. Nice. Welcome to the stream, Captain Happy. Dante, thanks for stopping by. And so I've already gone ahead and done that. I've also created proxies for all of these. We're not going to get into what that is, but basically, a proxy is a lower resolution sample of the clip that is shot on the camera. Just makes it easier to edit, and then when we export, it'll export it at the full resolution. So let's hop right into this. This was from a freediving trip that we did recently. We were just diving up and down the line. I want to try to keep this as short as possible. Maybe, I don't know if I can keep it under 1 minute, this clip. I was going to do it on Instagram and make it like 1 minute long. I don't know if that's going to be possible because what this video is a video of Dante making a dive down the line to about 115, I think 115 feet or so in the very first clip, but we're going to use a bunch of other clips to support that, and that gets into video composition. If you guys are shooting with a GoPro or whatever, when you're out there spearfishing or freediving or traveling, whatever you're doing, shoot a bunch of supporting clips. We call it B-roll stuff that you can put in to make it a little bit more interesting and tell a story. So the very first thing that I went ahead and already did and saved a bunch of time was I've selected the audio that I'm going to use. And this is a process, can take me hours and hours. I'm really nitpicky about video audio. But for this clip, I wanted something that was really, um, I don't even know the word to describe it, like eerie, kind of like inspiring, like something that's you think of when you're underwater and you're just kind of in your own space. So if you go up here to my audio tab, I got this little clip right here. I'm just going to drag it over onto my timeline, and we'll go ahead and hit play, and you guys can hear that. I like the clock. It kind of makes me think like free diving. I think you're on the clock, right? You're down there. You don't have an infinite amount of, yeah, there you go. Whimsical. That's exactly what it is. This is whimsical, and you don't have a whole lot of time down there. So I like the ticking of the clock, and then there's that start to the beat, and it's not really a beat, but it's just like a right there. Okay, so that's a little long before that intro starts. We might cut that down. We'll see. But I also wanted to add, at least in the beginning here, I wanted to add like a heartbeat sound. I think it just gives it a little bit more drama. So I'm going to drag that down underneath it. Let's hear that together. Let's start from the beginning. A little fast. We could slow it down, but I'm just going to leave it like that for right now because it's going to fade out. And then I already went ahead, because I know with this video, Dante is going to be taking his peak inhalation and then making his dive. I wanted to give that sound, that last peak inhalation sound, and we're going to cut all the audio from the actual video and just add sound effects and music. So I went ahead and recorded this actually on my iPhone, like just like that, and uploaded it, and we're going to drop that in just like this, and I want that to happen right before that beat drops because he's going to make his dive right at the start of that beat. So it's going to sound like this. All right, so we're going to have to adjust the peaking on that. You can see over on the right-hand side that the audio is too loud for everything. So I'm going to go over here to the main audio track. We're going to go to editing, come up here to effects controls, framing off. Going to bring this down. Got to pull down. That's right. Here we go. Down. Probably negative 10, negative 15. Let's try that. Mute these tracks really quick just so I can hear that main track. So we want it to be peaking around like negative 10, the loudest part. So when we know the loudest part on this is up here when the beat thing happens, right here. We don't want it to go above negative 10. So that's actually a little quiet. We can go ahead and like try negative 10. Looks good. Get a negative 12. All right, so let's try the heartbeat. I think sounds fine. Actually a little loud. Let's go ahead and drop that. Turn keyframing off. Bring that down maybe negative 8 or 9. Perfect. And then the inhale. Sounds awesome. I'm going to bring that down as well, just like negative 5. And let's put them all together. They're all muted. Let's unmute them all. Over here. Yeah, good enough. I can bring the whole thing down later, but I like to start with the audio and then edit around it, right? Versus having to try to make things fit with the audio. Getting text messages. And so we have the audio how we want it right now. I might change some things with the heartbeat as we go. So let's go ahead and get our clips going. So the main shot or the main focus shot is dive 1, and that's going to be what we call A roll. The main focus was the very first dive that I followed Dante on, and you just watch this clip up here in the editor, into out. You're going to hear the audio. So he makes his dive. I try to dive with him, spin the camera around. Never sounds good, the audio underwater, so we always cut that out. But it was a really cool perspective following him down to this depth. I didn't go nearly as deep as he did. I think I stopped around 80, 85 feet and just watched him go down to 115. But pushing that big camera housing through the water was a little challenging. And then he goes into his sink phase. And he goes down further and further and further and further. And finally, boom, he makes his turn. And then he comes up. And it's such a cool perspective. Now, this clip alone is pretty cool. Like, if we just got rid of the sound, threw that on there, it would be cool. But we want to give it more rhythm. We want to give it more flow, more supporting, keep it interesting so it holds your attention. So we're going to take this, and we're going to move this back a little bit because we're not quite ready for that. That's going to happen right at that inhalation breath right here. But we want something to kind of set up the video, and I got this shot. I call it the circle shot because what I did was I just swam a 360-degree circle around Dante and Paolo as they were just actually we can look at it up here so I don't have to keep playing that, but I just swam a 360-degree circle around the divers, and maybe not 360 degrees, and I thought it was cool. Paolo made a dive, but what I wanted to do was chop this up, slow it way down, so we're using that the full effect of that 120 frames. We're going to slow this down to 20% speed. I'm going to go right click on hit speed duration, change that to 20%. Now it's really, really slow. And it says proxy here because I'm using a proxy, that lower resolution, like I said. But obviously we have to, oh, nice shot for Moana right there. We might want to keep that in there. Right? Sponsorship, if you're watching this. But what I wanted to do, just watching this, it sounds like there's something has to go to that heartbeat. So this is a good spot for jump cuts. And I really like jump cuts. It shows movement, but it also adds, you can still keep that slow motion. Um, and the way that we're going to do this is listening to the beat. And we're going to put a marker on our timeline. So I'm going to go down here and click on the heartbeat. And I'm going to hit play. And I'm going to be hitting my M button on my keyboard every time I want to put a mark. And I want it to be on that second beat. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. What are we ha-haing? I'm going to go ahead and hit my M key. So here we go. Boom, boom. And you can see the marks happening up there at the top. All right, we can go ahead and stop. So that's enough marks. And let's zoom in here a little bit more. And now if I click on that mark, it's going to put me right on that beat. I can go ahead and hit my C button to cut. We're going to go ahead and cut right there. We're going to move forward quite a bit. Let's go like 4 spots forward. We're going to cut again. And then we're going to remove this section here in the middle. Okay, so like right now, if we played it, it's nice and smooth. If we remove this, and now we just drag this over, we've removed that section, there's a jump cut. All right, there's a space and time that has been removed. Yeah, Moana. So we're going to do this for every single little beat here, at least for the maybe first 3 or 4 beats. And I'm just going to go ahead and repeat this process. So we're going to cut here. We're going to move forward 1, 2, 3, 4. Cut again. Remove this. Link off. Go. Click on this mark. Cut. Move 1, 2, 3, 4. Cut. Remove this spot. Drag this over. Almost there. 4. And it doesn't have to be like perfect math like this. You can do it wherever you want. But I like to. But let's see how this is looking now. All right, that's cool. What do you think about that? So now it has movement. We did the 360, but not at full speed. We were able to get around in about the same amount of time, but each clip is slow motion, so you get that effect. It looks pretty cool, I think, at least. If I really wanted to spend time on this, I could fade in and out of every clip. So there's like it almost looked like it was breathing, where it would get dark and light, dark and light, dark and light. But we're not going to do that. So we're getting close to our breath here. So I'm going to do away with our circle shot. I think these first 5 clips will be enough. And then I want to go to some supporting video. So I did already select some B-roll that I have of Dante up close preparing for his dive. I think that'll be good to throw in here. And same thing. I think we're going to keep it slow motion, and the most stable part looks like right here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut here. Let's just go ahead and slow this down. Same thing, speed duration, 20%. Drag that over. I don't want that to go too long. We could actually do the same thing. If we want to stick to the jump cut idea, we can do a jump cut but a zoom until we get close to ready for that that dive. So let's go ahead and yeah, this will work. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and click here. We're gonna cut. We're gonna move over like 2. Cut. Drag this over. So we're doing the same thing, but we're gonna do a little something different with the scaling. One, two, so that it's zooming in on every single one of these cuts. Maybe we just do like 3 of them. Yeah, probably like 3 of these. I think any more than that, it just gets. Now we have the jump cuts, but instead of that actually doesn't look bad how it's just bouncing around like that, but I want to have some zoom. So here's the very first one, B-roll sequence. Second one, we're going to go up to effects controls. We're going to change the scale to 110%, maybe 120%. We're going to go to the next one and go to 140%. Next one, 60%, maybe. See if this looks all right. Kind of hard to tell. Especially because he's moving. If we stabilized him and put him in the middle of the screen, it would be different. We can do that. Let's do that. I get crazy here. All right. So I'm going to right click here, replace with an After Effects composition. It's going to take a second while After Effects loads up, but we're going to stabilize him so he does not move. He stays right in the center of the screen. It's going to help with that zoom. I think. And we're going to call this Dante Zoom. And now we're in After Effects. We have a new composition and we are going to stabilize motion. So what I'm going to do here is just zoom in a little bit. I'm going to click on my stabilize motion button. And I need something that's not really moving on him. Maybe his hand or head's moving a lot. There needs to be quite a bit of contrast for the tracker to follow it. So I'm thinking maybe a corner of his mask or something like that. I don't know. We'll see if this works. I'm going to zoom in here, grab the stabilizer. I'm actually going to put on that little emblem on his mask. Maybe that'll do it. I'm going to go ahead and go frame by frame here. See if it tracks it. And it's tracking it right now. If I hit play, it'll try to do it for a little while. That looks good. Hanging in there. So that box is tracking that emblem perfect right now, which is stabilizing this clip. And you're going to see how that works here in just a second. Let it do its thing. Let's go ahead and stop here. We're going to. So this was the track. Let me see if I can zoom out here. This was the track that Dante's head just moved, right? So if we hit apply and apply the dimensions to the XY axis, what's going to happen now is it's actually going to move the clip around to keep him stationary. So this spot's not going to move when I hit play. So we'll go up here, preview, hit play, and you're going to see that if I, oh wait, we got to go back to the part that we edited. You'll see that this spot does not move. If I hold my pointer on it, it doesn't move at all, but the clip itself is moving. You can see at the top it's cut off up here now, and now the clip is moving up. It's a pretty trippy effect, but let's go ahead and stop it right there where we stopped tracking. And we can come back down to tracker one more time. Stabilize motion. We're going to put it right on that emblem again. That worked really good. And go ahead and do it a little bit more. Let's go ahead and do this all the way to the end of the clip. Almost there. Stop, apply, done. And now when we exit this, here Pro, it is now. Go ahead and mute these tracks really quick so we can hear that when I'm scrubbing. You can see that the clip is moving around. Now we have all this, cutting here in the top, and we just did it to right. Did the whole clip. Okay, so we're gonna actually have to zoom in, so that's not shown, right? So we're gonna go up here to our effects control, scale, and we're gonna bump this up maybe, I'd say like 120%. See if any of that black is showing a little bit there at the top, so we can actually move the position up a little bit. Left and right. Here we go. Up. Keep him kind of in the middle. And now when we hit play, we're not getting any of that clipping on the top or on the side. But again, if I hold my cursor over the emblem of his mask, it's not moving at all. Right there at the end it did. So that's the part that we're not going to save that. So let's just go back here, hit cut right here, remove this back section, and then this is all stabilized. All right, so let's go back to that effect that we were trying to do here. We're going to go ahead and do these jump cuts on the beat. We're going to move forward 3, this section, drag this over. I'm going to repeat this really quick. Not playing background audio tonight because we're using audio in the video. So now let's see the jump cuts, and then we'll do the zooms. Cut, cut, cut. But he's in the same position every time. You probably didn't even need to really do the jump cuts, but we definitely need to do the zoom. So let's go ahead here, and we're going to go to 40%. This one we're going to go to 160%. The last one we'll do 80%. Now we're getting a little favorite. Yeah, I think it needs to be more dramatic. Jump cuts are supposed to be like a 30% change or change by more than 33%. So let's go to 120 to 150, and then from 150 to 180, and for the last one. There we go. Now it's enough of a change that it's noticeable. Before, like, you didn't really know what was going on. Let's unmute these tracks so we can get that sound effect. That's looking better. So on this next beat, we're going to go ahead and cut this. And now we're going to add the start of the dive. Okay, so if you go back to this clip, bring this over. Making his inhalation, and then he's making his dive. So I think I want the beat to start when he takes that breaststroke pull. So this spot right here, the line. So we're going to cut off a good chunk of the front of this clip. Figure out where that breaststroke pull is, right there. Close, so we need to pull this back so it looks like it's lined up with the breath. How this looks. All right, so almost. We actually need a little bit of this track back, so we can just drag here, back. That has to go forward. Just trying to align that pull with the beat. Maybe I'm not going the right direction. Yeah, I'm not going the right direction. I actually need to cut more of it off. Close. No, there's definitely a way to do this with like markers and stuff, but we're not gonna get into that. Really close. There it is. So he's finishing that breaststroke right on the beat. And it's something you probably wouldn't notice just watching the video. Like you wouldn't be like, oh, that just happened on the beat. But it is appealing to the eye and to the ear, and you might not notice it, but you like it. So you can see that flick of the wrist is right on the downbeat. And now we just have to line up the breath. So it's finishing right there. Drag that back. This will actually be interesting because the breath sound is going to come in before the clip. And that's actually something that people use a lot in video editing is the sound of the next clip will come in before you see it. So let's see how this looks. We're going to go back a little bit and start here. Just have the heartbeats. Dive. E. All right. I like the way that's going. That looks pretty good. I think I need to color grade this guy a little bit. We can get to that later though. What we can do is just add an adjustment layer over the top of all of them. Alright, so the heartbeat can probably go after the start to fade, like right here. So let's go ahead and show clip keyframes, go to levels, down, put a marker right at the end of the breath, right here. Another one like right here, and just drag that down. So it'll slowly taper off the heartbeat. It'll get quieter, quieter, quieter. That way we don't hear the heartbeat the entire video. But now he starts his dive. And I don't know if I like, because I'm upside down also. I think this needs to be flipped. And it might be interesting because the beginning, I think if the beginning was upside down though, that would look really weird. Trying to think if there's a way. You know what? I can transition it by using another clip, and then we can use from here. Let's go ahead and cut right here. And this clip right here, we're going to rotate it 180 degrees. That looks way better. But we need something for this turn. All right, so we got the beat right there. What's happening right now? Yeah. It's like glitching with my render. That's not rotated, so that's good. There we go. Dive. To clip. All right, so right there on the beat. Let's cut here. I don't know what just happened there. Sorry, I was kind of freaking out. But now we can support this with some shots that we did, some other shots that we did. And it's okay. This little clip right, was it? Entry follow. Go ahead and look at this clip real quick. So here he is on the surface. We actually shot this clip later after the dive just to support the clip that I knew I was going to be editing. And this is him doing an entry, and I actually, boom, follow him with the camera. And that's about as far as we go, right there. But it's enough to break up this clip. So what we're going to do is drag this over here. There's that entry, but I think it needs to be slow motion, and I think it needs to be a little later. So right around here. Go ahead and cut this. Slow this down. Speed 20%. Maybe not slow motion. Maybe we do out without this clip. We'll go to the selfie clip that he did. This was pretty cool. Look at this. Yeah, I think we just need a little bit more time before we introduce that clip. Takes the breath, and the beat starts. Maybe pull this out just a little bit further. There could need to be like a transition there, but we're just gonna roll with it. E2. Just trying to hear the beat to know where I can make the cut. 2, 3, 4. That's where it needs to be. And it plays a little game with your mind because you know he doesn't have the camera, and then he does have the camera. Oh, there's where it needs to start, on that second ring. Ring, ring, right there. That's where it needs to start, I think. Put before dive. Put what before dive? Are you talking about the entry? Yeah, the entry could go before the dive. Have it lined up pretty good now with the beat, I think. Leave it like that for now. Try to keep this in beat. There we go. See the timing there? The background. If you hear the ringing, listen to the beat for the ringing. Let's back up. You hear the ringing as it goes ring, 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 ring. And there's that second one. So that timing's a lot better. What I think I'm gonna do up. Keep it there. We're gonna speed ramp this down so I don't get so much of that rotation. The rotation's kind of messing us up. So we're gonna go over here to motion, set keyframes to time remapping speed, and just the end clip here when it starts to rotate. Right after you've done the breaststroke, right here, we're gonna hit P to put a point, and we're gonna put another point right here. I'm sorry, not another point. We're gonna drag this out to the right, back a little bit. We're gonna drag this down, blow it way down. Good, and then we're gonna just smooth this little transition out by dragging these little arrows. Perfect. So now if we just move this whole thing back, it's a little long right now. can see it starts to slow motion right there. And then into this. And we cut out the rest of it. I can hear you. Into the selfie clip. And the selfie clip could even be slowed down, I think. Maybe not 20%, but maybe like 50%. There's a next ring, so that's where the next cut is on this next ring, and we can use the marker again to right there. We can click on the marker, cut, E, remove this, we can drag it right in here. All right, so now we have that, and now we go to the reverse clip, and this is what I wanted to get to. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this play, but we're going to put other clips over it so that we don't lose the timing, but we're going to get some different angles and things like that, because I shot, I think, 4 dives. I shot 4 dives that Dante did, this one being the deepest one and, in my opinion, the best quality. But we have some different angles that we can throw in here as well. So that's looking pretty good. Follow shot with entry was sick. Yeah, I like it too. I know it's going to take me a lot of time to figure out where it fits, and maybe we use it in a future video. Or maybe I'll come back and play with this later. But go ahead and start this, and then I want to cut to dive 2. Now dive 2 was the clip where I was way further away from him to give it more scale and just show, you know, the depth that he's going to. So I wanted to use this clip. Let's go ahead and mute these for a second. Sorry, as I'm scrubbing, it's kind of loud. And I'm much further away from him. I think this is really cool. Maybe about here, because that's about the same depth that he is in the dive. This one is, you're going down. This one you're going down. Okay, so that's going to be consistent. Let's go ahead and cut right here. That, pull it. Now we just got to find the beat. So let's go ahead and turn the music back on. Boom. Right here is where I want to start this clip. And now let's play it. You're still in the kick phase, so that's good. And I think here we can go back. Go ahead and remove the rest of this. Put back. Should be starting your sync phase pretty soon. Now the clip of you coming straight at me, I want to see if you're in sync phase. I don't think you're in sync phase when you do that, so we might have to put it in a place where it's consistent. This shot's awesome. We're looking up the line. Here comes Dante. Think past me? No, you kicked past me. Oh, there's the start of the sync phase. So that'll actually be cool because we can use this to transition. So let's use like from right here. Go ahead and cut that. Do the sync phase. Cut it about here. Now let's go ahead and pull that. Find out where you start the sync phase in the other clip. Primary clip, let's see where you start sync phase. So right about there. Okay, so we want that to align with sync phase in this clip. Right there, so good. music back on. This clip might be too long. Yeah, we can cut it like right here. And then the next beat, the bells, sticking with that same beat. Mark. We're gonna drag this clip out to there. All right, so let's see how this sound looks. And then you start your sync phase right there. I think we just let that roll. Turn, and we actually have a clip of you doing a turn, but to be honest, I think you did a better turn here. We can try to link it up. I just know see how this turn. This angle's really cool too. Face to face. We can flip this. Try flipping this. Oh, that's scale. Rotation. I think it just takes a second for this to render. Go down to where you do your flip, right there. Use some of this. And back up you get. That's pretty cool. Where were we with that flip? Right there. I think you need to be able to like see that you're making the flip in the first video, like right there. And maybe line this up so you have your hand on the line and you're already pulling up. Right there, and then cut it. Find the beat. There we go. I like it. Cut it on the beat right there. All right, so we're getting our cuts done. This takes time, especially when you're trying to do it to music. And now you're coming back up. And I think I want to flip it again. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the original video right here because now we're going to flip it back over. So rotation is 0 degrees. That'll flip over. It might take some time to render. You can see it's a gray box here still, so that might just take a second. There really isn't a formula, you have to play with it and move some things around and see what you like, but it definitely helps when you're taking the video, when you know the direction you want to go and the different angles you want to get. When in doubt, just get a variety of different shots. I think Dante's entry alone, we shot like 3 or 4 entries just to have a variety and see what we liked, and went from there. So yeah, it's still rendering that clip. That's done. So let's go ahead and go to the beginning. I don't know if it'll play right now. That's gonna be messed up. Give it a second. Once that turns yellow, we should be good to go. Trying to catch up. Bear with me for a second. What time is it? 7:46. We're still actually doing pretty good on time. I thought this was going to be, I knew it was going to take a while. Going so fast. What we could do is render it. You hear me all right when I'm talking like really low? I think if we render this into out, it'll be too much. So what we can do right now while we're waiting is we can actually add an adjustment layer. So just come down here, new adjustment layer, drag that up on top of everything. That's not going to let me. Everything's working pretty slow right now. That's annoying. Sequence, render effects into out. How long is this going to take? Oh, not too bad. There we go. All right, let's see what we got so far. Or the dive going down, still in the kick cycles. There's that. Now we get him passing, still in the kick cycle. And then he starts sync phase right here, which aligns with the next clip. So your angle is a little different, but it's different camera angle also. And I think we let this go all the way down to the turn. And you can see the change in color, and that's what we have to get into here clip by clip, the different color, because actually I think the first dive I shot at like f4, and the rest of the shots I shot at like f8, and it definitely made a difference. I was able to keep the ISO, change the shutter speed, change the ISO, and so forth. So I think I got a different color on those deeper dives, on those later dives. So this one is much lighter, or this one is much darker, more in focus, at least the water and stuff in the background. So we're gonna have to color grade that. Let's just keep going here. Now you're coming back up. And we can even like jump cut it or color speed ramp it, but at this point, since we haven't done it before, I think it's too late to introduce speed ramps unless we went back and did it to some other clips. Right here, I know that we do have a clip. Pull this back up. Message retracted because you were late. Did you delete your message? Thanks, better late than never. We're getting close, I think, to the end of at least this video. I might play around with this a little more after the stream, but let's go back here to the project. And I know I had, okay, so this is where Dante comes up out of the water. Here. And we want to sync this up so that he is hitting the surface at the same time. That's good. And he pops that OK sign, and we're going to speed ramp that OK down. So we're going to go ahead and lift this up here. Zoom in on the clip. We're going to right click, go down to show clip keyframes, time remapping, click speed. Right where that OK starts, right there, we're going to hit P, make a point, drag out these little tabs, and we're going to hit V, select, pull this side down, and really slow it down a lot. There's the OK. So we're going to click on here. There we go. Grab these little adjustment arms, smooth that out so we have a nice ramp, speed ramp, and now go ahead and hit play, and here we go. Actually, maybe move that out just a little bit. There we go. I like the little splash there in slow motion. That actually looks pretty good. There's Paolo. And we can just fade her off into the abyss. What other clips do I have on here? I think that's it. So what I'll do here is kind of pick the exit of the video, which would be like that splash. And on the main clip right here, we're going to hit P. Actually, we're going to change this to show clip keyframe for opacity. And now we're going to put a point right here. A point right here. And we're going to just drag this down. And it'll just get darker. Or it should. Opacity. Do I have another clip above it? Showing for oh, I know what I need to do. Let's go down here and create a new black video. Drag that underneath it. Alright, we're gonna do this the other way, since I don't know what I'm doing. That black video on top. Opacity, starting at the beginning of it. Put a keyframe for 0%. 0. That one at the end for 100%. This should work. Get darker. There we go. Could probably have that happen a little faster. This keyframe, I don't know, up to about there. Drag this out a little bit. There we go. Ease it out. And just like we did with the music, with the video, we're going to have to do that with the music also. So we'll go down here, show keyframes for volume, levels, put a point at about that same point that we put for the video. Right here. Point down here. Am I just recording onto a track? I think I accidentally recorded onto a track. There we go. Let's go back, 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 back. All right, here we go. Should be good now. All right, so what I was trying to do is hit a point right here, and then another one here. Drag that down. It should get quieter. Up. Need motivational played out audio voice. Freediver. The freediver, when he dives, goes to look within. Like that. Like Morgan Freeman on it. The snorkeler looks around while the freediver looks within. There you go. Please don't clip that. That's the end of your video. Go ahead and cut here, here, here. Delete, delete. Hit O, and now we would just go and export this. So let's go ahead and just render the effects really quick because we're going to go in and color grade. We can color grade in 3 minutes. All right, so here the blues look fine. This spot right here looks a little washed out. So let's go to that spot in the clip. Where are we? This clip right here. I would normally do an adjustment layer above them, but since we're going to go clip by clip, I'm just going to come up here into color, and we're just going to bring the exposure down a little bit on that guy. Compare it to the one right before it. That's all. It was just a little blown out. If we want to increase the contrast, we can a little bit. That looks fine. Let's keep going here. Play. Oh, it's going to have to render. Go back to editing. Check this clip. Good. This one needs to get a little darker color. And you can go in here and, you know, all the same adjustments that we did when we were doing our photos in Lightroom. It's not going to have the same amount of information. So you have to make smaller adjustments, I find. If you like with temperature, for example, it takes a lot to change it. So yeah, be careful with that. But in this case, I'm just going to pull that exposure down, bump up the contrast just a little bit, and compare that clip to clip. Good, so that they all look uniform. It doesn't want to look like we shot this on multiple dives, even though we did. Pull this down real quick because I know there's some clips above it. All right, so we got that one. This clip. This one's way darker than the one in front of it. So we go from really bright to dark. Same thing here. Good. Dive. That looks about the same. This one's a little washed out. Let's go ahead and affect. I think we already did this a little bit. Yep. Next clip. Good. And it gets brighter again, which we've already done that. It's fine. Just gonna roll with that. This one needs to get darker. That's it. All right, let's watch the whole thing real quick. I'm gonna put it on like full screen. Let's go to editing. I'll just make it really big. I don't know how to go to full screen. Not as familiar with this program as I am with Lightroom, so. How's this look? Size-wise. Oh yeah, that's good enough. You pull this over a little bit more. Starter from the top. I really like the jump cuts. Brushstroke on the beat. Slow motion speed ramp into the entry, slow motion 50%, and then we go into our dive at 100% speed. Panned out. Here comes the pass. Sync phase. I wish I had like a clip. I wish I was a little closer to you on the sync phase. Or maybe like you sunk by me. Turn. That clip right there could be a lot darker. Bluer. Looks super relaxed. I'll get some motivational speech in there for you, Dante. Good dive, sir. Good dive. Oh, you know what I can do? I just got an idea. We're not done. Something's missing in the middle when he is just like a lot of time where we're not doing any cuts and things like that. I know what it is. I think. Down. Where's the long clips? Here we go. So after this spot, I'm gonna wait for the sync phase, I think. Right here. All right, here it is. This is the play. Down. Up rather. Back into the heartbeat. The point right here. Right. Actually, let's do one like right here and then like right here. Let's pull this back up. I think what was it before? Like -5? What is this spot right here? -9. Maybe not bring it all the way back up to -9, but like -12. Then ease out here. See if this helps the clip. There we go. You know what would even be better? If we like slowed it down. Like here. I don't know. I've never done this with sound. Let's just volume. I know you can do it. I know you can slow it down with speed, but I'll learn and do that on the next one. I think bringing the heartbeat back was a good play. We'll fade it out when he makes the turn. Right here. Go ahead and put a point like right there. Drag this one down. The Megadon, the Megadante. There we go. And I think the last thing that we would need, is an exhale, right? Because you hit the surface and you can't hear it. Very inspiring. I could bring like some of the audio from that track back. What happened to it? But yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and render it, and then I will upload it to this channel. So we're gonna keep it. How long did this go? An hour and 7 minutes. Perfect. Not bad. You know, there's definitely some things I could refine and make it a little bit better, and I can add some sharpening. I might go and do that. Um, there's definitely some things that we thought of along the way with some of the different clips, and that Dante brought up some pretty cool ideas too. That to go back and add them in would probably be the play, but it would just take a long time because you'd have to like structure a lot of it. So anyway, that's the final edit. I hope you guys like it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you guys next Thursday. All right. Are you still here? Bye, guys.